What is going on, everybody? Rucker here, bringing you guys another quick video here today. We're going to go over all the rogues in Rogue Company. I'm going to describe their abilities and passives. So without further ado, let's start with Anvil. So Anvil, his ability is he has this barricade that he can place down, and it's basically a shield, and he could shoot out this mirror that's behind his barricade so he can actually peek over it and shoot at the enemy. His passive is immunity. He gains immunity to EMP, disorient, slow, and blind effects. So these effects can be caused from like flash grenades or EMP grenades or other utility that the rogues have. So that's his passive that he has. So let's move on. Chalk. So Chalk, his ability is he can overheal himself for a duration or revive himself while down. So basically, if he knows that he's about to get shot at or anything, he can hit that stim pack, give him some extra health before he gets in that gunfight. Or if he gets downed and he knows he's in a safe position, he can actually hit that ability to revive himself. His passive is Grit. While downed, he gains increased health and the ability to dodge roll. The ability to dodge roll is actually useful. He can actually move around very fast as a down person, whereas everybody else is pretty slow. So we'll go to Dallas. So Dallas, his ability is the target finder. He can reveal the closest enemy for a short duration. So basically, if you run on the map, he'll snap his fingers, and then the closest enemy to him, it'll outline them for him and his team. His passive is recharge, so he can recharge his ability upon downing an enemy. So he can snap his fingers right, he can down that enemy, it'll recharge his ability, he can snap his fingers again, find another enemy, down them, and just keep recharging that ability and using it. Very useful rogue in this game. Next we got Dima. Dima's pretty cool. Not only does he look cool, but he has this very nice grenade launcher that can down enemies pretty quick if you get those cluster grenades right next to him. And then his passive is Burned. Basically, when he downs an enemy, it'll show that downed enemy to the rest of the team. So that's useful, so you can kind of have that map awareness for everybody on your team. So next we got Glitch. Glitch is pretty useful. His ability is that he can hack nearby enemy signals and infiltrate their systems. So basically, he can stop them from using their utility and abilities. So that's very useful ability here. His passive is Intuition. So he can detect nearby enemy equipment even through walls. So if somebody throws, like, you know, if Ronin throws down her little trip mine, he can see that. Or Claymores, he can see that. So next we got Lancer. Lancer is my favorite. She is my main right now. Her ability is Quick and Quiet. So she can basically gain increased movement speed. She has quieter movement and immunity to reveals for a duration or until firing her weapon. So basically, this is useful for if you're attacking, right, and you land down on the map. You can activate that ability, get into a really fast, really quick position. And Dallas's ability, the one that can reveal enemy, the nearby enemy, he can use that, and it's not going to pick her up because she's using this ability. Her passive is probably one of the most OP passives in the game right now. It's Elusive. After activating dodge roll, it'll reload her currently equipped weapon. So basically, you'd be in a gunfight, and you could shoot somebody, down them, but then somebody else shooting at you and you're out of ammo. You can dodge roll behind cover, and you have your ammo back. You don't have to reload. So this saves a lot of time and is extremely useful. Move on to Phantom. Phantom's ability is Nano Smoke. She can basically throw the smoke grenade, and if a enemy walks into that smoke, it'll outline them and she can see them. So this is useful, especially with the sniper. If she knows where, you know, the enemy might be pushing, she could smoke off that cut, and if they walk through it, it'll outline them and she'll be able to shoot them through that smoke. Her passive is Grievous Wounds, so damaging an enemy delays their health regeneration. So that's pretty useful too. So next we got Ronin. Ronin's ability is this ballistic knife. She can equip an explosive throwing knife that attaches to surfaces and detonates when enemies are near. So basically, she can throw this explosive throwing knife at a door, and if somebody walks through that door, they're going to get blown up. It's like a trip mine, basically. Her passive is Underground, so she's hidden on the enemy's minimap. So that's pretty self-explanatory, and that's pretty useful too. So it helps her stay hidden from the enemies. Next, we got Saint. So Saint, his ability is the Revive Drone. So when somebody gets downed, he can hit his ability and it will send a medical drone to revive a down friendly anywhere on the map. Now he is extremely useful, but you got to keep in mind he's really only useful if you're playing with a team and you can talk to your medic. Because if you get down and you know that they're going to full kill you, it's a waste for him to use his ability on you, so you got to let him know that. His passive is the Medical Expertise, so reviving a teammate heals both of you for a significant amount. So he can revive a teammate and you're going to get healed to a significant amount right away, as well as himself. Moving on to Scorch. Scorch is probably one of the most OP rogues in the game right now. Her ability is Overheat, so for a period of time, her firearms and melee attacks will set enemies on fire, dealing damage over time. This is extremely useful because you can shoot someone. You're going to beat almost everybody in a one-on-one gunfight if you have the first shot, and this damage over time effect is going to knock them. Even if you get knocked, most of the time this damage over time is going to take them and knock them as well. So extremely useful ability. Her passive is fireproof, so she's immune to fire, so things like incendiary grenades or another Scorch is not going to affect her. Then we got Talon. So Talon's ability is this radar dart. So he can equip a radar dart that, when thrown, attaches to surfaces and detects nearby enemies on the radar. So he can throw out this dart. It'll create an area on the minimap that'll kind of ping, and if enemies are there, it'll light them up on that minimap for him and the team to see. His passive is Mag Gloves, so he can pick up and reclaim items from range. So if he kills someone that's kind of far away, right, and they drop a gun, he can pick up that gun from pretty far. Next, we got Trench. Trench's ability is this barbed wire grenade, so he can create a field of barbed wire that slows enemies. So he is pretty useful if you want to stop flanks. So if you have a Lancer on the other team who can move quickly around the map and pretty quietly, he can set this down in mid cuts or on bomb sites to kind of stop a flank or stop people from pushing a site. And alternatively, when he is attacking, if you get the bomb down, he can set the barbed wire down on that site, so it'll slow them down to defuse that bomb and help you guys be able to hear him and pick him up. So his passive is Gadget Up, so he can carry an additional gadget. Now gadgets I'll go through real quick. Gadgets would be something like this tear gas or this active protection system. So things like those nature, he would be able to carry an additional gadget. Moving on to Vi, last rogue here. Her ability is this Vile Poison. She can create a cluster of poison pools that reduces enemy maximum health. So if you know that enemy teams push somewhere, she can throw this out there. It'll drain their health a little bit and reduce their maximum health. And her passive is this Leeching Poison, so reducing the maximum health of enemies gradually increases your maximum health up to a cap of 25. So if they're walking in here and they're sitting in here, not only are they losing health, but she is gaining health to that cap of 25. So there you go, guys. That's all the rogues in the game right now. That's just a real quick overview of all their abilities and passives. If there's any questions, leave them in the comments below. Like I said, I'm going to make another video going through all of these rogues' loadouts, what guns they have, which ones are the better guns, their melee weapons, as well as their gadgets and their perks. We can go over these in a later video. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Goodbye!